This is a 1998 Freightliner FLB. I was here at Matt's in 2016, caught the truck fever and went home the next day and bought this thing, and it's never been finished since we brought it home. We're based out of Black Creek, Wisconsin, just 10 miles north of Appleton, Wisconsin, 25 miles west of Green Bay, and been home all of my life. So I usually work it in the summertime. I haven't worked it too many winters. The last new peak that I call my winter beater, I had to work it in the winter because Peterbilt didn't have that one done. But other than that, we try to park it in the winter time for basically Thanksgiving into March. And then I would drive this in the summertime. We had a little mishap with a car drove into the side of it. Wasn't our fault, but things happen on a nice sunny day, and we had some repairs, and well, parts take a little longer to source for this fun truck. So took us a little longer to get it finished this time, but we're getting close. I'm getting excited to try to use it again. So the main look is still the same. The deck plates, the half fenders, the rear T-bar, all of that stuff was all custom made by a guy who lives up eastern Wisconsin there. John Becker, J&B Welding, did all of he was the guy that's like, hey, we can do this and make some cool metal art on this truck. That stuff is still all there. The paint was all currently redone down at TA in Pewaukee, and most of the truck was all assembled by Amcan. Nick Kimball has been a huge help. Really shared a lot of his visions in helping me put this truck back together and take it to the next level. Nick's a real neat guy and has a real vision when it comes to keeping trucks clean, cool, and classy. And that's really what my tastes are. We have an N14 Cummins in it. It was originally a N14. It was set at 460. With their tuning and help, we did bump it up a little bit. It's followed with a 13 speed and 342 gears. So, you know, you lock that thing at 1,300 RPMs and a little over 60 mile an hour down the road, and just takes the freight right where we need to go. Everything's original. When this truck was originally spec'd, I got the spec sheet. It was spec'd out of South Bend, Indiana, and it was originally purposed as a car haul. So the guy that I bought it from kind of had it mostly converted, and then we tweaked it and finished it up and made it look like it does today. But originally it had a rack on it and was pulled with a square frame off the back. I could show you about where the bruises where the U-bolts still used to be, where the rack would have been clamped to the frame. But we never had to stretch the frame. We never had to do nothing. It was a factory 227 and hasn't been all cut up. We had to massage it back into shape after that rogue car tried to show it a lesson, but we got it back. So we went back to original Freightliner fiberglass visor. We had an original, it was a 12 gauge visor on it, and we wanted to go back to the more factory look. So we took some time to massage that visor back on there. We tried to keep it fairly simple, but one of the biggest things that we did add to the front of this truck was a 12 gauge custom air ride kit. Yeah, they don't make air ride kits for these FLB Freightliners, so it took some head scratching and some engineering, and we had to move a lot of lines and do some things. They had to reshape the springs to get it to sit level as you see it today. That was really Nick's. We asked a bunch of people and everybody kind of laughed and said, I don't think so, but Nick was able to take it on and make that happen. We did add I said I don't want just a piece of stainless up here, and 12 gauge was actually able to replicate what looks like the factory Freightliner grill that was in there. I wanted it to look like a Freightliner, or like the grill should have looked, and they built that all out of stainless now and really added a sharp look to the truck. So we're real happy on how that turned out. We redid the interior here. That was all done by Randy out at Spare Time. Did an awesome job with that. Really looks good. We very happy with it. We wanted it to look nice, but not over the top. Wanted it to look like it did when it was still a Freightliner. We left the factory dash is still all original Freightliner. We didn't rip it down. We didn't do nothing. I wanted, when you open the door, I wanted to say to the guy that drove that back in 1998, say, yep, that still looks like the truck I drove in 98. And it's a beautiful interior. Freightliner did a very nice job of making interiors back there when you upgraded them, and this had the plush interior in it, and we wanted to keep that. We did change out and put matching seats in it and in some of them things, but re-insulated the cab, put all new interior in it, and very, very happy the way that turned out. I'm told there's only a handful of these sets of steps around, but they were able to rebuild these steps. The last steps got tweaked a little bit by that car that actually drove in head first right here, and The fuel tank was full, of course, so it didn't crush like an empty can. It kind of threw me sideways with a full load, and you got, oh, well, could have been worse, but nobody was hurt. Everybody walked away. That was a huge blessing, and I really, really respect and count my blessings, because that could have ended a lot worse, and it was just paint, and it was all fixable now looking back, so didn't see that right away when it happened, but now you're like, yeah, look at this, and we come back better than ever, I hope anyway, so. This was kind of John's creation, custom fuel straps with 150-gallon tanks. When I got it, it had smaller tanks on it, but, well, you know, when you got to get the freight delivered, you can't stop for fuel all the time. So we put bigger tanks on it. We put brand new Dynaflex exhaust on it, 6-inch exhaust. A lot of the deck plate was all made by John up in Wisconsin. The customized battery box cover, he Frenched that in and has that backlit now, so at night it looks pretty neat. Freightliner's all lit up, and kind of gives the truck a unique look, and something that you could come by and say, yeah, I'm proud to still drive a Freightliner, and we love the truck. The rest of the truck was really the way it was before the wreck. We did put a stationary fifth wheel on it since the wreck, before we had a slider on it, but you know, black and water and dust, it's hard to keep them clean, so the wife and my kids help wash this thing all the time, and we wash with real good water, so it's nice to just be able to blow it off and back it outside and have it looking cool. So we put a fixed fifth wheel on, tried to keep it a real clean, easy wash. So we just run half fenders. It's simple. I hooked to some different customer trailers. We own 7 trailers, so we wanted to stay with the steel fifth wheel that if I hook with somebody hooked up with grease, we got to get the work done first, or that's what pays for all of this fun stuff. So other than that, everything was kind of the way we massaged it, or it's never been finished. So we've been adding pieces and parts as we went since 2016. So it's been a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens, where it goes from here, but we're not done with it yet. So